Hi guys, it's Steve here. Now, today's a bit of a warm day in Melbourne. Got my little fan, resurrected it up from the top of my storage there. Comes out this time each year. It gets a bit warm in the shed. It's supposedly 30 degrees today here in Melbourne. Pardon me. That was a nut that I had before. Yeah, nothing like spitting on YouTube. Now, today no coffee. Today, just getting the water intake. Okay. Now, what I'm going to show you today, I thought I'd share with you, and that's corner clamps. I've got a range of corner clamps. I'm kind of always looking for the quintessential perfect corner clamp. And I've got a few of them. I've had the Bessey ones, this is the Bessey one. And I've had this for quite some time. Looks like a little robot man, like, his little eyes, his little nose, and this is good quality stuff. Expensive, like all Bessey stuff, but needless to say, good quality. And it's adjustable, where you can actually have thicker one side, thinner the other side when you're clamping a corner, which I'll show you in a minute. These are really good. They're very heavy duty, but they're kind of slow when you're doing a bit of repeated work. You got to put it in, you got to undo it a bit, got to adjust it, and all that sort of stuff. But look, it is a very good, strong, robust unit. It also, when you come down on the top, it has some little reference tabs here, which sit on the top of each of your boards, such so that it sits down and registers the top of when you're joining two boards together, it registers the top. So they're good. Then I bought these, and I think they're I find them a bit disappointing. Now, these are from Rockler, I believe. They're not even branded. That's how proud they are of them. There's no branding whatsoever, and I think I bought them from Rockler. And they're kind of loosely based on the concept of a Kreg clamp. I don't think it's very particularly well made. It's kind of okay. There's no reference to the top here when you sit it down on your boards, so you can't sort of like level your two levels up together. So I find that a bit disappointing. Plus you got this is your clamp, and that releases the clamp, and then you can also tighten it up with this, and you can set it with a lock nut. So you can sort of preset it to thicknesses that you're using. But then, and I was disappointed with those when I bought them. And then I bought the new, they're just out apparently at the moment. These are the Kreg ones. Now they're much like similar of Kreg. You've got, Kreg allows you the adjustment here of the plus and minus of the grip that you get. So this kind of gives you the right amount of tightness that you want, and it gives you the repeatability. The other thing too is it does have a good reference to the top of the board here, where you can clamp in, and it also does miters as well as just butt joints. There's also a little unit here which actually holds the supports it on the side. Now you can take that off. I don't know why, but you can if you want to. I don't know, and I have not found the reason why. Well, the only trouble is, because this comes over the end of the board, you have troubles trying to get be able to drill in here with that in the way. But on this side, you've got plenty of room to do it, which I'll demonstrate for you in a second. So these are the main three corner clamps that I've got. I have got the typical miter clamp, the cheapies. I've even got sort of better versions of the cheapy ones. But they're all right if you're doing picture frames, and they're, you can buy them from the DIY store. So what I'll do is I'll try and set the camera up a bit better. See if I can blow it up a little bit and come in so you can sort of see what's going on. I'll just lock off the camera a little bit with my great camera skills. Okay, so look, I'm just making these kitchen cupboards. I make them pretty basic. This is for my daughter. I'm not going to do dovetailing and all that sort of thing. It's not, my daughter wants them in. She's got to be better than what she's got. So this is the side of the drawer. There'll be over this edge here. There'll be a face plate, a which is the decorative face, but I'm just making the carcass. So what I do is I actually lay down 2 of my Bessey clamps, because these get to clamp the base, because the way that I've made it is, I'll show you. I've got 16 mil, whoops, I don't know if you can quite see it. I've got a I'll see if I can get it a little bit better. No, okay. I've got a 16 millimeter base. I've got a 16 millimeter base and 16 millimeter sides with an ABS, 1 millimeter ABS edge, which I've done on the Contura. So now I just slip that into here. I pull up my clamps. I clamp them in. Can't even see that probably, I don't think. Okay, I'll go back out of it. Yep. So I just pull them in, clamp them in, just sort of quite lightly. Because I'm just a hobbyist, I don't have to do it production stuff. So I just tap that along till I feel it's nice and flush. Okay, now sometimes the top's pushed out a little bit, so I tighten that up here. Now sometimes the top can be sort of pushed out or pushed in. That's where these clamps come in good. So what I'll do is we'll move the camera a little bit, and I'll see if I can blow it back up again so you can see what I'm doing. Okay, now if I put the Bessey clamp on top, I'll just maybe go back out a bit. So I put the Bessey clamp on top, I register the 2 little tabs here and here on the top, and now I've got to wind it in, sort of jiggle it about, feel there, maybe a little bit of a tap there, I can feel it's nice and smooth. Now I'll clamp it in nice and tight. Now that is a really good tight fit. It allows me to be able to drill in here if this was the face plate, but on the other side it's got the same. So this allows me to be able to access into this, and actually really well, because it's roughly about 1.25 inches gap, which to allow me to get in the the countersink heads, because they can get foul up. So this is a great robust. A little bit of fiddling around. Now we'll use the Rockler one. So now with the Rockler one, see the trouble with the Rockler one is the Rockler one doesn't sit on the top, so there's no reference to it. Now that may have its advantage. Now it's off. Now it's too loose, so I've got to tighten it up a little bit to set it. Okay, it's too much. Too much. Now, no, it's still too much. Okay, now I've been able to lock it in here. Now, here they give me as much less of room. It's only about, be lucky if that was now 3/4 of an inch or 19 millimeters. The reference on this side is okay, because I've got all this area here which I can drill into, which is not bad. There is a inference here where this plate, you can push this plate up to here. So, look, not bad. But I can, the other thing about this one is, I'll lift this up a bit like that. See this little crank handle here? I can actually crank it in, and I can feel the tension. So I've really clamped that in now, and I can tap it across a little bit, fraction a bit more if I want. But I'd probably best to back it off a little bit when I do that. So again, that's a lot of messing around for a corner. So now we'll unlock this by pushing that button, and it unlocks. Look, it's not bad. It's probably still better than the average mitre clamps. Now these are the Kreg ones. These are pretty good, because the thing is, Kreg will self-adjust to the thickness of the board. Now I think the thickest board you'd be able to put in it would be, I'll get my tape. Okay, I think the thickest board you'd be able to do would be, say 40, I think probably 39 to 40 millimeters you'd be able to do that, as to opening up the jaws completely. But as you can see, it has a clamping action. This V here clamps into the corner. This has a very good reference to the top. You can sort of see it has this whole plate here. So what I'll do is I'll put that down. I'll sit this down nice and firm on the top. I'll clamp it in, it's done. Now, that's pretty good on the side there. I could probably tap it back slightly. That's it. Now, undo it. Do it again. Push it down, lock it in. So for speed and ease, and it's really holds tight, because the thing about it is, with the Kreg here, you've got the plus and the minus, much like this the Kreg clamps that I have up in the back of my workshop. So I think the Kreg things are good. These were $60 from Carbotech. I've seen them as dear as $90, but I think $60 is all you need to pay for these things. So that's pretty reasonable in Carbotech. So I'll bring that back now. So there's a little bit of a lowdown on a few corner clamps. I'll run back through them. Bessey, very robust, very strong, quite a heavy, very heavy clamp, very heavy duty. Beautiful thing about this is I can wind it right open, and I've got a throat now of approximately 50 millimeters. But the thing about it is, you can do possibly up to 65 millimeters one side and 25 on the other. So if you were doing something where you had a 25 millimeter board coming into a 50 millimeter board, you'd be able to hold that with this. Now the other thing too is this allows you, because of the run through of the design here, this allows you to clamp a board midstream of your carcass. Like if you want to do a shelf across, this will actually hold it like that. This one, I'm actually not sure, so I'm going to get a scrap and see what happens. One thing I found about making about kitchens, if you don't pay attention to what you're doing, you can sometimes cut some of the board. I was making the drawers and I actually cut them off 8 millimeters too short because I looked at a wrong measurement that I'd written down. Unbelievable. So you had to go and make a whole pile more. Never mind. So if I now push this in here, I'll see if this can clamp midway. Yeah, it looks like it can. So I'll push this down here, and you can see that yes, it will hold it midway, so that you can put a shelf. Holds it really well, so that's good for that. We'll try the Kreg. The Kreg, yeah, it's interesting. I think I can see now why. Yes. Oh no, here we go. Yep. Kreg does it really well. Kreg, that was my mistake. That's with the base on it, the way the base runs to hold the board. I had it round the wrong way. And of course, this one can do it as well. But I'll unscrew that right open. So we can come back here. And yes, actually, it does it. So the three of them all can do corners as well as a shelf down the middle of your carcass. So anyway, I thought that might be a little bit of a thing to look at when you're next thinking about getting miter clamps. What's my recommendation? I like the Bessey's great. Takes a little bit longer to mess around, but it's incredibly versatile. It's very versatile actually. It does a lot of different sizes. I'd definitely say the new Kreg Auto Max is great. I really like this. Great for carcasses, like small carcasses like this. But having said that, it will do 35 millimeter carcasses really well. And I like the way that you can basically set them and bang, do it. The Rockler ones, well, frankly, I wouldn't buy any more. That's for sure. I don't think I'd recommend the Rockler ones to anyone in reality, but if you're on a budget, check out the Rockler price compared to the Kreg. So I'd say this would be the cheapest, the Kreg would be the next expensive, and the Bessey definitely, obviously, is far more expensive. I think probably, I don't know what these going for. I bought these quite some time ago, and I remember they were obviously very expensive at the time, like all Bessey stuff. So hopefully that's a bit helpful. So I'll go back to my water and go back to finishing my carcass, but I just sort of give you another tip, guys. See you later.